Here we go. Here we go. Uh, we are now live here. I'm gonna get down here and put the link out. Let people know we live with a few TSU sports fans looking down real quick. 28th of Jefferson here. Um, I got TSU Madness in the
Where them
building.
fans at? Where them fans at? Where them fans at? Zoop, zoop, zoop. They ain't at Nissan Stadium. What's up, Big Blue?
We're over here. We also have Demetrius in the house in the building.
What's up? I'm in my all black for a reason.
Let me share this real quick. Before we get started, let's go ahead and do the congrats to our favorite coach, one of our favorite coaches here. All TSU coaches are our favorites, but one of the first one could come on our show right here. Coach Sutton right here.
Yes, sir.
Got our 100th victory in this past weekend versus Pine Bluff.
Mm-hmm.
So kudos to her. OVC champ as always.
Mm-hmm.
Great support of the show. And just kudos to her
Mm-hmm.
for making it happen. Getting our 100th victory in.
Yeah,
That's a big deal, but you know what I'm saying. So congrats, Coach Sutton, on that.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a young team this year. They fighting like hell.
Mm-hmm.
I wish the fans would fight along with her,
Mm-hmm.
but they fighting like hell. So congrats on 100 wins. I love to see it.
Yeah,
Here's
congrats,
200.
Coach Sutton. And on a hundredth win, just keep going. Like you said, like Demetrius said, young team, and they are fighting like hell. Yeah, I agree with you. Because it's gonna take some time for them to gel and get that chemistry to where they, it's a culture. They know exactly where they are on the spots on the floor and all that. So yeah, it's gonna be a tough season, but they're gonna gel together, and in due time they're gonna come together, and it's gonna be a great culture at volleyball team. So congratulations, coach. We're proud of you, and I thank you as always for being just a good supporter of our show as we support you.
Yes, there are some TSU fans. I think like last week, I'll get an episode of. We have some technical issues, but we'll get Flying Tiger up here next week to discuss his fandom and how he brought his kids to the game. And we're going to highlight more. So anybody out there, we're going to highlight more. One of my classmates, he owns Guidance Whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Showed up and talking about doing some partnership with TSU Athletics. So as we talk about this game, I do want to remind that we have people had a good time at the JMC. They actually adjusted the attendance to now say close to 11,000, which to me it looked like it was
Mm-hmm.
11,069, whatever it was. But in this past game was 8,300, I think 8,300, 8,400.
I think it's at 85. Yeah, 8,500.
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that gets adjusted too. Maybe it's a little more. I guess we'll see about that. All right. NDSU versus Tennessee State. We knew it was a tall task. I actually sat and watched the 2024 game too as well. Some highlights. And, similar results, in terms of score. But, we knew it would be a hard task, right? That's their FBS team parading as a their FCS team parading as a FBS team.
No,
We
you
got
said it right the first time. FBS parading.
okay.
FCS.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the FBS light.
Yeah.
And actually, they will win. I think they can win a couple conferences. To be totally honest here,
Yeah.
but
Or at least compete like they can compete.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, you give them at 20 extra players, and then they'll be right. They'll be right there. So, are you going FBS 20 extra players? They'll be right there. So our final score was 59-3. You know, football is football. I've been a part of programs when I played up to high school. So but I've been a part of games where you whip somebody up, and sometimes you're on the other side and you get whipped up pretty good, right? You just got to learn from it. You try to move forward. You try to gain understanding so you can sort of grow from the game. Since TSU matches you were there, we'll let you kick it off.
Yeah. Oh, so hold on.
Yeah.
Matt, as you went to Fargo, Tennessee? Or Nashville, North Dakota? Where'd you go?
Yeah. I think it was Nashville, North Dakota. There is a Nashville, I think in Oklahoma, somewhere like that. Out that way. But so I think there's a Nashville in North Dakota. Because I was there. I even brought up my brother-in-law who went to FAMU. He drove up from Tallahassee, and of course the wife. So it was.
That brother drove 8 hours.
Yes.
Okay.
And I asked him. I said, "Why?" I said, "Why this game?" I know you don't like us, but why this game? I said, "Do you really want us to get beat that bad?" And he said, "Man, I just wanted to witness the show." So I was like, you know what? And I bought you a ticket. It's all good. All right. I took some notes. So let me see here. Let me go to my notes on my thoughts on the game.
What an essay.
Yeah.
School, you back in session, you back in school, take classes.
I had to take notes on it. Let's see. The offense was bad. One. Alumni support was absolutely horrendous. Offense was bad. Student support was horrible.
So that's point number 3. I'm gonna get to point number 3. Go ahead.
Offense was bad. The band support. Well, I was gonna do a whole 30-minute show on the band support, but now that it's come out after the fact that they were in COVID protocol, I'm gonna ease up on that. And then last thing, I had another note here. Last thing was, the offense was bad. So, real quick, guys, on real tip, this was the most embarrassing game I've ever attended at Tennessee State. Most embarrassing ever. Even more so than the Lane game in 2022. Because at Lane game, we lost the game. But the fans were there. 11,000 fans were there. And they were TSU fans. Most of them. Students were full effect. But this game, man, y'all, if you saw the game, North Dakota State, of the 8,500 fans, North Dakota State, I promise you it was about 7,500. We may have had 1,000 fans there. Now, I get it. I know, and I'm just saying it's us. When I say us, I'm black folk. I know black folk, we don't do rainy games. I get it. We don't do rainy games. And it was sprinkling at the beginning of the game, probably throughout the first quarter, almost the entire first quarter, if I'm not mistaken. Sprinkling. But it ended up being a really beautiful day. But it sure didn't stop them from coming. I think it was just really hard to see them sit there and watch them talk and say things especially without notification about the band, where because they played in the stands. They didn't do a halftime show. They played in the stands. And we didn't know. We didn't know why they was doing this. We were all looking at each other. And then I'm getting, they asking me, North Dakota State fans, hey, why only 3 tubas players out there? That's all y'all have. I said, no, man, 1/3 of the band isn't there. But we didn't at the time. We didn't know. We didn't know why they didn't take the fan. We was like, okay, does Tennessee play tomorrow? Do they play in Nissan Stadium? No, they play at Denver, if I'm not mistaken, or Cleveland somewhere. I don't know. But then it didn't matter because the turf, it's artificial turf. So I just didn't. We just didn't know why they were out there, and I get it. It's COVID protocol. I get it. But it was just kind of hard to answer those questions. That because the North Dakota State fans, as nice as most of them were, because they did have some buttholes there this time, but as nice as they were like, hey man, your clarinet section, your your saxophone section, whatever. They had concerns, right? They were like, man, we can't even see the band. How come the band's not putting on the show? So because they know about HBCU bands. So anyway, that was just kind of hard to answer. And then of course to be around and their tradition about everything from a kickoff, from after the national anthem to during the game, every punt, every whatever, their tradition lived, their home tradition lived at Nissan Stadium because of the lack of TSU fans there. I'm very disappointed. If you didn't have anything to do on Saturday and you within 50 miles, maybe even 100 miles radius of Tennessee State, and you are a fan or alum of TSU, that was really hard to do. I ain't gonna say by myself. I wasn't the only TSU fan there, but it was bad. It felt like it. And I'm pissed off because that is the worst. Man, people got on me, especially with Rodney, because I ain't arguing. I'm not going to sit there and argue with you, but I got a lot of feedback about telling people, hey, come into the game. People saying, well, some folks just don't like football or some, I gave money when I went to the school. Then I don't want to hear nobody say anything. I want to hear nobody say anything about the football team, the losses, the lack of revenue, why we're not playing on campus. Fools, in order to play on campus, you have to have revenue and money to go back to campus. Man, I'm the ignorance and the lack of support bothers me. And I'm sorry, man, because guess what? I ain't even talking about the doggone game. The game is the game. North Dakota State is North Dakota State. The FBS team that plays on the FCS level, they have a $30 million athletic budget compared to what? I guess maybe 14 for us or something like that.
Yeah, around that.
That's the difference. Yeah. So I'm not gonna monopolize the time. I apologize. But as someone there that was at the game,
keep going.
Somebody that was at the game, and all the other TSU fans that was at the game, and then I have to hear about, well, how come we can't do it? I got people who call me all the time because they want insight. They think I have this grandiose insight at TSU and why things are this way and why things are this way. But yeah, you know what? Like, they went at the game. I fielded calls today about how come I wasn't at something else this weekend because I was at the game. Man, yeah, I heard we got beat up. Yeah, I heard we got beat up real bad. Yeah, we did. And I heard nobody showed up. Yeah, you weren't there. You're absolutely right. I'm just tired of the mess, man. People want to talk about how bad the school is and all that kind of mess. How we don't, financially, we don't have the money. We don't have the money because you're not showing up. If you don't show up, give. Are you giving?
And that's a point I made. Some person said, well, like some of the comments will be on Facebook, and I go back and forth. I will mess up a little bit. I throw some jabs. I don't care. But the excuses that they come up with are very creative. I mean, and they are just excuses. And not saying everyone should come in town every weekend, people travel schedule or whatever, but there's enough people that are local that can go to the game. And I think that, I want to play HBCU. Well, we've seen our track with HBCU. We had 15K at homecoming last in North Dakota State. That's not good. That's not good. That's not. It's something that, this year we play A&T, which is HBCU. We didn't talk about NDSU's football. We got that. We talking about our fan support now. So but to have 8,000, 11,000 now for A&T game, that's not good. Because like when we were in school, it'd be 20, 25,000, anywhere. And so our engagement with fans is knocked off significantly. And I remember going back to this because the people said, let's bring up SWAT, go to the SWAT. One thing that the commissioner said that I agree with, he said, well, this difference between Bethune and Tennessee State. They got the same attendance numbers. Yeah. And they are right.
Yeah.
Y'all going to make all the excuses because if Valley came, if Pine Bluff came, if Texas Southern came, y'all not going to come to that game because they going to bring their band. Because y'all going to be babies and cry about it and say, I'm cold. Somebody said, I was cold. I may catch a cold if I go to a football game. I'm sorry. If somebody went to school with me, you're not a 90-year-old grandma. Yeah, come on there. Your knees don't ache when it rains outside. Grow up. Stop crying. I'm sick. Like, stop it. If you don't like football, just don't go. I don't go, and I'm not. You tell me I don't go out a lot, but I'm not gonna go and go to a club and hang out in front of the club and say, well, I don't like clubs. I'm gonna stay home. I'm gonna get out the way. I'm not gonna go to a concert or go pray outside of a concert and do something else outside a concert that I don't like. That's stupid. And y'all just weird acting and stupid acting. And it's like, and y'all just want to cry and hear y'all stuff. Y'all say, well, we need to go back on campus. And I saw somebody on Facebook. I said, well, I'm glad you committed to writing $1 million check to get the ball going. And she said, the person said, like, well, if you get that, if you want to tell the school what to do, you write a check for it. That's how you tell people what to do. And that's now this political climate. You write a check and get stuff done. So if you want something done, write a check. Get it done. But you as the client, you trying to make the school do something you want to do. Yeah, what we went through, people not paying tuition going to Tennessee State, graduating, not paying tuition. And now y'all want free football games, free tailgate, free T-shirts, free Happy Meals, free 99. And y'all say, why can't the school do nothing? They go up here and somebody got fired from the university, and they're gonna post some stuff negative about the school. Y'all want to go run and believe them. The school put out and say, I'm glad it's different now. The school put out and say, nah, this person got to let go. She need to be quiet. Come. We're gonna get her some get money from her, grab her coins from her, because she talking crazy. But y'all believe anything else somebody say about TSU, run, hide away from it, except they got cool swag. Y'all, that's all y'all want. A cool T-shirt, but they don't go cry about Tennessee State. It's stupid. If you're not interested, that's fine. Nobody make you be interested in it. But don't go up there and say, you make me feel bad. If you don't believe it, it don't apply to you. Hit dogs holler, right? Mm-hmm. Let it go. Mm-hmm. But you making excuses every single time. I mean, somebody brought up in a comment, oh, well, don't let them tailgaters. Well, that's what people tailgate JMC maybe, and also they do it at homecoming. That's the main time. So they don't do with tailgating. So you're trying to insert yourself into something that nobody kept on brought on tailgaters. You brought that up because you feel sorry. You feel shame. You want to try to do something weird and just be weird. You just look weird. You look stupid. But, again, I will give a good story today because I wore my shirt today. And I had a little community event. Some guy came to me and said, it's different. He's like, I know about Tennessee State. I know about Merritt. I know about Jefferson Street. Yeah, I got whipped on NDSU, but I know about that. I went to class at Tennessee State. I had a good time at Tennessee State. So the house that Merritt built, people know about it, and they respect it. Why don't we?
Yep. Man, let's go ahead.
I'm glad that North Dakota State fans showed up. I am. I'm glad they showed up like that. Because I made a statement, I think to y'all offline a week or so ago, that I think we only have about 2,000 fans now. Something happened after COVID. I'm not sure what it was, people just lost interest in sports. I mean, and it's not just TSU. Unless Deion Sanders is your coach, or some other thing happened at your university where people where fan engagement is increased. Mostly, even at North Dakota State, fan support has dwindled. Right? Something happened. But whatever the case, North Dakota State, I'm glad they showed up, because again, it validated my comment about us only having about probably 1,500 to 2,000 fans that go on a regular basis to TSU games. If you look at OVC games, we're only going to have about 2,000 to 3,000 fans at OVC games. So, and where it used to be 6,000 or so. We have like 6,000, 8,000 fans that would show up to OVC games. And then we would, our big games, would be around 16,000 for homecoming, Johnny Mare, whatever. But that's changed. Now we're not even barely scraping 10,000, if we're scraping 10,000. So I'm glad North Dakota State fans showed up, because if they hadn't shown up, TSU would have been playing the number one team in FCS with only 1,500 fans there, because I think that was about as many that were there, TSU fans. And then lastly, and Dimitri, you could take it from here. Lastly, other than you giving your money through donations to the university, other than going to the gala or some other way of giving, football, men's basketball, women's basketball is the only way is we can really make that money and make those significant changes, right? Because, and that goes back to athletics. It goes directly back to athletics. And we use that money to change conferences, right? Or to look, they're going to look, guys, since we've been doing this podcast, man, I've really been paying attention to other conferences and what it takes, and the finances and all that. We need fan support. Number one, if you want to leave the OVC, like everybody say they want to leave, you need fan support. You need financial support, right? And you need to win. Guys, if you're not showing up in the game, who wants to play? You think about those players, man. Think about the players' mindset when they ran out in that field and all they saw was green and gold or green and yellow, whatever it is. It was remarkable. As beautiful as my brother-in-law told me, as beautiful as it is, as bad as it is also beautiful to see and to witness the support, the culture of that squad, and how they travel, and the tradition they have throughout a game of support. It was actually beautiful and envious to watch. I'm sorry.
So I'm gonna hop on questions real quick. Somebody asked about how they helping the students get back forth to school, and somebody responded. The big TSU Tsunami said there's shuttles.
There's a shuttle. There's a shuttle.
Back and forth, so
and I'm sorry, Demetrius, and my bad. And that's what disappoints me even more, right? The student section was completely empty other than SGA. Now the student, maybe, I'm not saying there wasn't any other students there. They could have been underneath the, it was like I said, it was raining in the beginning, sprinkling, and they were probably underneath, right, staying dry, or they could have been sitting with their parents, whatever, in alumni sections, right? But the student section was absolutely empty. That was bad. North Dakota fans were saying, I don't want to play them anymore. They don't even support their own team. Why are we playing them? They can't beat us. We're killing them. It's not even a competition. And then they're not even supporting their own team. But just like my brother-in-law was saying and talking about FAMU, they wouldn't be able to do that FAMU, because you know what? FAMU has a different culture. They have a different fan culture. They love their team. And they know they have to come out and support the team. Even though they hate the coach they have right now, they still come out and support. They're still going to have 20,000 fans there. because they know they need the team needs them, and they need the financial dollars to help the team progress.
Yeah, they loved him 2 years ago when he won the Celebration Bowl, though. But that's a whole different story.
No,
No,
that
he
wasn't
left.
him. That
Yeah,
wasn't
he
him.
left. He left. Then the
Oh,
coach.
that wasn't him.
No,
Yeah,
that wasn't
Coley's
him.
new.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I thought for some reason I thought they won back to back or something like that.
I think Willie's at FIU. I think. I want to say.
FIU.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
FIU. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
at FIU. So y'all know I'm a rational guy, right? And y'all, both of you, I mean, from a feelings perspective, y'all hit it on the head, right? And this collective, we told the base that this was going to happen. We told the base that they were bringing 10,000, and they brought 7.5. So it probably would have been more if the weather was somewhat pleasant. So we knew that this was going to happen. Am I surprised? No. Am I disappointed? Yes. Am I angry? Yeah, a little bit, especially after 24 hours. Um, it was tough to see, but the three of us can't be the only ones that are upset. We just can't be. But let's just do some math. How many TSU alum do we have in the entire state of Tennessee? I think
Ooh.
20,000.
Yeah, I know numbers out there. Yeah, the numbers are already out there.
20,000, maybe 25. Maybe if somebody in the chat, y'all know, throw a
Yeah,
number out there. To
I forgot like maybe a
20.
year ago with the numbers. Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's exact numbers out there. There's enough.
I'm gonna ask somebody.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna ask somebody who may know. And give
There-
me
there's-
majority are in West Tennessee and Middle Tennessee. You know, we gotta fix that. We gotta fix that issue with West Tennessee. We gotta fix that. So that's some internal business we gotta take care of. Because normally, if West Tennessee is on board, them jokers usually send buses to every home game. So we gotta fix that. But let's just do some simple math. If 20,000 in the state, let's just say 20%, that's 4,000. That's 4,000 people who could show up, right? We got 4,700 students on campus, or 4,700 students enrolled, right? 20% of that, that's 800. So let's just make it 1,000. Now you got 5,000, right? For me, it's not enough for just students and alum in your alumni base. You gotta have a casual fan, your barbershop owner, um, your your North Nashville entrepreneur who didn't go to college, but his parents and grandparents, um, grew up on TSU campus. To me that's where the missing link is where is the casual non alumni fan who, because to me, I don't care what university it is, whether it's Ohio State. My grandmother, 83 years old, Columbus, Ohio. She didn't go to Ohio State, but that's her team. You know what I'm saying? That's her team. So to me, it's we have our own accountability issues, but to me, I think the biggest drop off has been the casual fan,
Yeah,
and I don't know if it's just TSU fatigue,
yeah,
being we're trying to crawl ourselves out of a hole constantly, um, and we just lost that engagement. I think we got to get that back. Um, but it's tough to see. We boast and brag about taking over Howard Homecoming, but honestly, I wasn't that impressed by that because they could give two shits.
yeah.
I text a friend, I'm like, "Yo, we whooped y'all, whatever the score was," and she's like, I don't even care about football. You know what I'm saying? So I've never been impressed by that, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, I agree with you. 11,000 for John Mayer for A&T. To me that's low, and I think that speaks to the casual fan we've lost.
Yeah,
we've lost that,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know what it's going to take to get it back. I think the university is doing all it can to restore that, but I think until that happens, until you get until that Jeffersonville corridor, that North Nashville corridor, so they feel like, you know what, we're going to get behind TSU, not because I got a kid that goes there, but because it's important to me. Howard Gentry generation, I mean, I hate to say it, but the numbers, we all know the circle of life. And I keep telling my generation, like, look, it's our time.
Mm-hmm.
It's our time. Most of us got kids that are entering high school or just exiting high school. Like, it's our time. As Matt is the three of us is our generation's time to pick that torch up and to carry it, because we talk about blue bloods, and we've always been able to hang our hat on classic attendance.
Yeah.
Classic attendance is what we've always been able to hang our hat on, right? Oh, we go to Memphis, 47,000. We go to Atlanta, 67,000. We go to Circle City, 50,000. Oh, Tennessee State leading FCS in attendance.
In classic.
That's classic attendance. That's classic attendance. So I'm interested to see what next week is going to look like.
Yeah, next week.
With Alabama A&M. And here's another thing. Let's just, for hypothetical, I don't usually like to do that, but let's hypothetical. Let's just say we go to the conference that everybody wants to go to. Maybe we shouldn't have scheduled 4 straight home games. Maybe in the future, maybe we should not have done that. But regardless, maybe, North Dakota State, even though it's a home game, we treat it like it's a away game, and we pull back up next week. But let's say we had the big boys, Alabama State, home game, Alabama State, A&M, Jackson, Mississippi Valley, right? This is all like, I'm just throwing names out just for conference sake, right? Jackson State. That's 5 home games. Which one you gonna go to? You ain't going to all 5.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Go to. You ain't going to all 5. You ain't gonna do that. So miss me with all that. Let's go to miss me with all that. I ain't trying to hear that. So if 3 of us only have pride, we're in big trouble.
Yeah, and one thing again, somebody pointed this out to Mr. Martin over here. Local support, student attendance, all that. That's very good point. And I made a point earlier too about Guidance Whiskey's a local whiskey brand, obviously, and TSU owned, and they actually showed up and did some stuff trying to partnerships. But we have a lot of TSU alumni businesses, restaurateurs that are killing it in Nashville, killing it. Mm-hmm. So working with Slim and Huskies, working with Princes, of course, the old school Princes, and working with Sweats, and these people, they see everybody, right? They have a fan base, right? And so really try to re-engage those kind of local guys to ensure that we're getting our name out there, because there's just 3 right there, and of course all to stick with black owned per se, but there's a lot of pancake pantry, so many roasted what's it called, TSU on roasted. I saw those earlier. I'm sorry. Some are roasted in it. Not too far up by across the street from Nashville Sounds, that new area. Wedgewood? Is that Wedgewood? Right there. Goddess whiskey right there.
I got mine too.
I drunk all mine. I drank all mine.
Wait a minute, hold on. Every time I go through the airport, not every time, but at least every once or twice a year through the Nashville airport, I pick up a bottle of Guidance. It's in the Nashville. But if you fly Southwest, Corridor C. It's the Tampa Tribune. Not Tampa. It's the Nashville Tribune.
Tennessee Tribune.
Tennessee Tribune.
Tennessee Tribune, I think.
They have a little show stuff there, and they sell Guidance. They sell these another black-owned company called something Peanuts. Always give me some chocolate covered peanuts. And then there's another black-owned thing too that I purchased. I forget what it is. I haven't purchased that in a long time. But I always get me a bottle of Guidance. I got 2 of them downstairs. So there you go. Support.
All right. I'm sorry. I thought we turn the bottle up. All right, man. Turn the bottle. You got whole bottle. You got to turn the whole bottle up.
You get ready. But so let me say this real quick though, and there you go. I like that. Demetrius, you were right. You was almost correct. About close to 20,000 alums in the state of Tennessee. And I just got that from someone who works closely with the university. And then I was going to say something about anyway, I forgot. But anyway, that I just wanted to make that point about Demetrius about the number of alumni. My apologies.
And I think I want to point out too, like I think we talked about before, but people are also mad at TSU for changing homecoming, which hadn't homecoming tailgate rules, which has tailgating rules in general, but specifically homecoming that hasn't happened yet. But somebody mentioned took over Howard. He brought it up earlier, and I was like, well, hey, we got more fans than Howard on average, right? We actually better than them, which is not saying a lot. But two, also, they got rid of that tailgate. So one thing you see more people on campus is because they used to tailgate. You didn't know everybody was supposed to be expert on all HBCUs and yada, yada, yada. But they used to be by McDonald's. And then I think somebody else bought that land. So they had to all come up closer to the campus because they didn't have an option anymore. So, but our all-knowing TSU fans who say they know everything don't know that. North Carolina Central was changing their procedures for homecoming. Tuskegee is changing the procedures. So people want to get on the message and say TSU can't change X, Y, Z. You can disagree with them or not. That's fine. But there's no way they can actually change it. They're renting the place out. They do what they want to do. You can't tell. We got too many fans trying to tell people TSU what to do. Who are you to tell people what to do? You're not donating. You're not buying a ticket. You're not buying a park. So who are you to tell somebody you're not buying a space at the tailgate? You just showing them somebody else who's doing it. Who are you to tell somebody what they can't do, what rules they can't change? You don't have much power.
Dr. Allen has tried. No, this is what he has done. We wanted more black colleges on the schedule. And Demetrius says this all the time, so I'm going to say it for him. We have 3 this year, and we have 3 really good teams. Alabama A&M, we have a history with. North Carolina A&T, we don't have a strong history with them, but as of late, it's good competition. And then now Howard, which is pretty much new. This is only maybe our 3rd time playing them. But we get to return the favor from a great matchup that was up there in DC. So we play more black colleges and quality teams, some storied HBCUs, and he changed the times. I know people didn't necessarily like the times. I know I saw something about wanting to change the times back to night games. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. I appreciated the earlier times. I mean, this 1:30 game. This 1:30 game should have been to our advantage, especially if it was 85 degrees. I wish the weather that we had for JMC was on. We had it yesterday because it would have been an advantage for us, a disadvantage for North Dakota State. I mean, maybe we could have slowed it down. Maybe they want to score 59. They probably score 42. Who knows? I don't know. But we changed the times, which is something new, trying something different. The last thing that you want that he can't do is to return back to campus. Don't know if you know, but there's no more press. The press box isn't there. It was condemned. It had to be torn down. There was a fear that joker just may fall in one day. It had to be torn down. There's no press box. But he can't build a press box without your funds. He can't build new bathrooms without your funds. He can't create a new concession stands without your funds. We need your support. And yes, it's financial. We need you there in presence, because nobody wants our football team or any of our basketball teams or nothing part of their conference if their fans if you have low fan support. I was listening to something the other day, like I said, I've been listening to other podcasts, whatever. Believe it or not, the Big 12 wants North Carolina State, according to a certain group of guys, wants North Carolina State because of their fan support, not necessarily because of what they've done on the football field, what they do on the basketball court, because of their fan support. That they have a huge fan support, whether they 1-10 or 1-11 or 10-15 in basketball. They want their fan support. Your presence matters. Your dollars matter too.
Yeah, I think that's what's frustrating, because, like you said, people want to change the times, they want to change the location, they want to change the team. Like, sit down and listen to yourselves. How many structural constraints you put on a university? Say, you got all these demands. It has to be perfect weather, cape rain. I got to park and pull up and park easily, even though I leave the house late. It's like we want all special favors. And also, too, I'm saying again, I said before, if we did go back on campus, whenever we get a chance to, it's not going to be cheaper. It's going to be probably more of the same cost. It's not going to be cheaper.
Okay.
So I don't think people think, it's going to be free 99 on campus. No, it's not. Because just like Tuskegee and North Carolina Central, you had to pay. With Tuskegee, you have to buy a pass to get on campus. Yeah, they're gonna let you walk on campus and walk around in this parade by the Greek plots, and just hang out. And you go in there tomorrow. I'm alone. They're gonna block some stuff off and charge you to get on campus. And y'all gonna be mad. Why y'all charging? I graduated. Look at my degree. I got student loans. I deserve free. Mm-hmm. No, you don't. That's not how it works.
Yeah. All right, we lost 59-3.
Yeah.
And I think I'm sorry right now. My mind has to move on. I had to move on. I had to move on. Sorry. I apologize. I know you're probably still on that, but I had to move on. Yeah. 59-3. Offense struggled. And of course defense struggled too, but they had no help from the offense. I don't know who the starting quarterback should be. I'm not sure if it truly matters. But we just need some
so
changes.
I listened to Barlow's press conference, and he said the plan was going into the game that they were going to play all three.
Yeah. So
to hear that, I got to accept that for face value, right? So let me flip this question back to both of you. I know, Rodney, you're the host, you're the wonderful host here, but judging what y'all saw from all three, because I'm not gonna lie to you, when we went back to Palmer, I think it was after halftime, I was a little bit upset. I'm like, McNair, I thought even though he had the silly interception, he looked a little bit more comfortable. Now, none of them looked comfortable, to be quite honest, but he looked comfortable. And then when we went back to Palmer, that I didn't understand that. But after hearing Coach Barlow say that the intention was to go with all three, okay, that gives me a little bit of optimism. But who y'all want to see start next on Saturday?
Let me ask this question.
Go ahead, Dimitri.
So I do know that real quick. Last going into the tennis, but they do have go to Tennessee State TSUTigers.com. Do have some kind of community engagement plan, whatever. You can look at that. They've done some of that kind of work. Not sure how much, but let's go back to the star quarterback here. I would like to. Let me tell you what I want to see, because our line is young, our receivers are young. I want to see more play action pass with QB waggles, QB roll. I want to see more of a moving pocket to see if we can get those, because our receivers are athletic, right? We see that with Slaughter getting open. Yeah. I think Snap Reed may have played a few. We did add Leland, Will Hoyt. It was good to see the backup, number 30. He had a couple of nice little runs. He had about 30 yards. So it was good to see him get some touch. Yeah. Get actual. Because I do think we couldn't run Rhymes 100 times like we did 20 plus times. So it's good to get a backup in there. We got Leland, Will Hoyt came from FAMU. I think I remember what school he came from. I think also he
what number is he? I'm sorry. I'm on my madness kick. Can we get the names back on the jersey?
Okay. Yeah. So
that was tough. That was hard. That was hard to deal with without the names, man.
Yeah. So I
know the play. Killing me.
Yeah. So if I was to choose, I'll probably go McNair first, McCreary second, then Palmer two, because I just think we need to move the pocket a little bit and get our guys out on runs, help out, because we try to do these little short kind of passes to, like, we'll fake it to Rhymes to try to throw it to him in the flat. We'll fake it to the Rhymes to try to do a little pass to the tight end, but no one's being fooled. Everybody's staying close. So get the quarterback moving, and I would go with McNair or McQuarrie and do some more, hand play action pass kind of stuff.
You want
second too. Throw the dang ball deep. We got to at least try. We got to back these guys, these safeties, because they are up in our face. And I let it get the yak, yards after receptions, whatever. But we're not gonna be able to bust plays. Expect our receivers to run 50 yards all the time. I agree with Noah. Noah said he would go with McNair too as well. So I'm thinking that I want a more of a pocket. I mean, it's sort of hard with McCreary because he has had two plays where the center don't know how tall he is, and those two plays could have been scoring. But both times, A&T game and also North Dakota State, he was close to getting a field goal, but he didn't score a touchdown. If the center got his act right, but height is too high, so I don't know what that's about, center. But I just think McNair looked like, I agree, McNair looked a little bit better. And I want him out rolling on the edge, chucking the ball deep, chucking it deep out, moving the pocket, moving that pocket, moving the defense, seeing what can pop open, versus these quick 5-yard throws, 5. It's just try to get these screens in, and they just sitting on them. They waiting. Yeah. Thank you, Zach Simmons Browns. Thanks. Zach, number 30 was Zach Simmons Brown. Good role coming in. Liked him. Yeah. That's my answer. Long answer.
When did McNair come into the game? Do y'all guys remember? Was it quarter two, or was it after halftime?
I think it was quarter two. Yeah.
Okay, quarter two. Look, man, it was a run-on sentence that game for me. So it was an interesting experience. I kind of shared some stuff with y'all offline. It was a really interesting experience. But I did, like I said, most of the NDSU people were great. I had a jerk sitting behind me, and I had thank God for the wife. That's all I gotta say. But the McNair, when he came in, the reason why I asked that question, I wasn't sure if he was coming up. He came in with some of their backups, like their second team. Wasn't sure if it was second half, because second half was definitely their second team. But so with him coming in second quarter, I would agree McNair looked better, and he moved. He seemed like he moved the ball a little bit. And I think what you're referring to, what you want is that RPO, that run pass option, Rodney. So
I don't want RPO.
Huh? You don't want RPO?
I want old school play action. I want old school play action pass. Okay. I mean, either give it to Rhymes or we play action and we roll them out.
I think that's what you're gonna. I think with McNair, that's probably what you'll get, though.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it's not that much distinction between a traditional, right. I'm splitting hairs here, right? So, fair enough. But yeah, so yeah, but I just don't want. I don't want to say RPO. I don't want the 5 yard, kind of looks. That's why I want RPO, quick 5, RPO, quick screen to the wide receiver. I want like some real get the ball down the field kind of stuff. And you can do that with RPO too, but we need to get the ball down the field. Yard passes. I can't even recall how many. We had one that's probably about 10 yards. I think that McCreary threw to Justin, number 17. Yeah. On that play that McNair threw, he should have just ran the ball. He got like 5 yards. I mean, he was trying to make a play that wasn't there.
I think it was third down. So I think it was third down. He was trying
to. He should have just got the 5 yards. I mean, there was no point in throwing that ball. Trying too hard, and he wasn't. The guy was double teamed, and or he should just threw it out of bounds. But he just got the 5 yards. Just kneel down, whatever. But yeah, we got to do something different on offense. We can't think that Rhymes is going to just bust one. We need sustained drive. Like we said before, we need sustained drives. We need a 5 yard run, 3 yard run, 5 yard pass. We need that kind of stuff. We need to actually get the ball. You need a 20 yard run. You need a 20 yard pass. We need to get the ball, like really very kind of different level kind of offense. And right now, it's all short. Hand the ball off, hoping Rhymes get through. If that doesn't work, throw a 2-3 yard pass. Screen. I mean, try to screen again. The screen's not working because you can't throw a screen when they know you're not going. They know you're not going to throw the ball deep. If you're not going to throw the ball 15 yards deep, they're like, "Well, we just back. We just move everybody up." Because you're not going to throw it to them. Right. So yeah, I agree with McCreary. McCreary had a good set with the backup.
Yeah. I think Big Blue Tsunami said it. I mean, I think I'm at the point where McQuarrie, I think, to me, he looked the most comfortable, but you could tell he just ain't getting the reps. So I would really like to see him with the ones and use him as a third runner. I know we don't like running a quarterback like that, but I think, to me, he's got the most upside based on the limited action that I've seen. So, but we got to do something.
Yeah, because this is one thing last year. I know people, and this is one thing too. We got to talk about. I mean, some people were so out on Eddie that they didn't recognize how good Coach Partridge was, offensive coordinator last year. Mm-hmm. But he, we sputtered sometimes, but he would say, "Hey, Ellis, just chuck it." And he had a lot of big plays that got us, just flip the game. Said Ellis, go get on the ground. We don't have Ellis back there. I watched the old tape and this tape, and it was like, oh, this was Ellis. We didn't have Ellis who could like manipulate and like at least we put the ball in people's hands, and they just dropped a lot last year. But they got better after that game. This is sort of a gut check for them. Hopefully, the same gut check for our team too as well. But we need to make sure that it should be our goal. This game playing against Alabama A&M, the Legacy Series, is that we need to go ahead and stretch this field. We got to do it. It starts this game, then we have a break, I think, then we go back to Tech. Tech comes to us, rather. But we got to go out here and really start stretching this field and using our athletes, throwing the ball 20, 30 yards down the field to Slaughter, get him out there so he got one-on-one and just break loose. I do think he will be an efficient deep ball threat. Also with Justin, we got all them guys out there. So we got to make sure that we're doing that. Number 9, Brock Montgomery, good middle ball kind of guy. Good. But we got to get the ball to him where he can make some moves and get the ball there. We just haven't. Jason Hoth, we're not throwing the ball to him a lot. Like get him out there doing. He's doing a great job blocking. They say, oh, he fake blocks. Go out there, boom, he's gonna be open. So we just got to really stretch that field.
Yeah.
In places, and we're just not doing that, right now. So hopefully we just say, hey, if I had to go first play of the game, I would like, let's go max protection, chuck it deep to Slaughter and see what happens. Let them know, like back those guys up, Yeah. And I don't know what they're doing to figure out the reps.
But the good.
Yeah, reps are a problem.
Yeah, they are. But we all know season's not over. Last year we was in the same situation, 1-1, and then we went 8-2 to finish the season. Really should have went 9-1, if we're being honest. But maybe 8-2 because there was one game we probably should have lost. But so it's probably a wash. 8-2. So a lot of football left. I think our ceiling is here. And we're playing down here. So we got a lot of room left. Young guys got to continue to grow up. We got to continue to challenge that line because I think a lot of it, too, is, max protect. We haven't really shown the ability to max protect consistently. So we got to keep challenging our hogs up front. And, I think the playbook gonna open up a little bit more. It has to.
It has to.
Or we'll be 2-10.
Yeah, I watched Alcorn State and Alabama A&M a little bit, and Alabama A&M did win. They do throw the ball a lot more. Alcorn State had success throwing the ball too as well. Plays. They hung in most of the game. I do think it's a time for our decent line, our edges who were not, who didn't do very well against NDSU because they were blocking them. But I think they'll be able to get off the ball like they did against A&T. But it's a matter of our DBs just staying home and not coming up. Just don't come up. Like just stay deep, stay back there. Your front 7 is really good. All you gotta do is stay back there and catch the ball, and knock the ball down, whatever, because it's going to be there for us. Alcorn State did pass the ball on A&M. So we got one of their edge rushers, Ravon Johnson, number 40. No, maybe he switched numbers. I think he's 40. I think he was 40. Or was he 19? He's 40 or 19. Don't quote me. The names on the back of the jerseys. But yeah, he used to be A&M. Now he's with us, and so we'll get pressure back there, definitely. But yeah, Alcorn State moved the ball on them pretty well, and they didn't do very well. Alcorn State did pretty bad week before, losing team. I can't remember who they lost to, but team that had won in 10 years they lost to them. So they moved the ball pretty well against Alabama A&M, and doing that. So I think there's opportunities for our offense to really show something this week. They're the same position as we, Alabama A&M. Coach Shem Shade is new. So it's back to like sort of where we are, a new team. And so we just need to put it all together and really watch film, really go ahead and try to capitalize on that. But yeah, throwing 5-yard balls is not going to get it done. It's not.
And our defense needs to be ready for their offense as well.
Yeah. They do have a really big receiver, number 13. I think he plays a slot.
Mm-hmm.
Very big kid, caught a couple balls. And again, DBs, you just can't. You can't. So don't take the bait. The quarterback actually had if our ends flush out that quarterback, left or right, you still have to stay home, fill the gaps. You cannot step up. Stop stepping up. This is not high school ball, where you can just step up and leave somebody behind you open. This is real football. They're gonna see that, and I'm sure they're gonna come out and do a couple of rollouts and test our DB, so they're gonna stay home. If the pocket moves, they saw that at A&T, they saw it at NDSU that our DBs love stepping up, getting to the fray, and not staying on their keys. So
Yeah,
we gotta be careful about that. That's my biggest concern going this week is DBs not staying home. It's good to see Deshaun Watkins back out there, but again, he hadn't played. He's catching up. First game, tough game to come in.
Number.
Yeah. He's one. He came in. He's one. He played a little bit of the thing second quarter, number one. So he came in. He felt like it's his first game of the season. So I'm sure he'll get better as the season goes on. But again, we got to keep on our keys. And I'm sure it's a different defense too as well. So we just got to do things like that as well. So that's it. Somebody says that they didn't run back a punt or a kickoff return.
that's true.
That's
a positive.
On a few of them.
Yeah.
That's a positive.
Yeah, so I give this positive. Yeah, I think he had to kick it a little bit shorter this time because he had full time to get the. Sometimes they were coming. So I think he had to get it off a little bit and kicked it a little bit shorter. But we had 8 punts. First game we had 7, right? I think we had 7 first game. We had 8 punts. So we're getting our punt count a little bit too high. So we got to work on that. So we'll see.
We better be careful. That punter getting taped.
And I figure Fred Burns look good too. We might get two NFL guys. They getting work. They get work.
Listen, that field goal, man. What was that? Was you there when he missed the field goal?
Who there? NDSU?
No, for us. For us.
No.
We missed was it a 50-yarder we missed?
No, I'll be straight up with you. I left right when it turned 52-0. I left during third quarter.
No,
yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean I thought you were gonna say when we kicked was it a 50-yarder we attempted in the third quarter?
Mm-hmm.
And it was online. It was just short by a few yards, and then he banged the other one in the fourth. But I think that's a positive.
Yeah.
I think we got a legitimate kicking game that we can rely upon. We got a good punter, and he just need to stop kicking that shit straight in the middle,
right?
And him moving it a little bit. But I think that's another positive. I think there's a lot of positives that came from this game. The biggest one for me is this was a welcome to college football moment.
Yeah,
for our young boys.
No, it was.
And,
it was.
A lot.
Go ahead, Demetrius. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I agree with you. That's the reason why I'm not tripping on the team as much as anything else, because we're young. And like I said, this could be an 8-4 season or 5-7 season. So it's just it all depends on how fast they grow up, and we hope it's the 8-4 or whatever on the positive end. It just take time, and I think everyone kind of expected this butt whipping. I did want them to perform better than we did last year, but I'm not tripping on their performance right now against North Dakota State. Next week against Alabama A&M, and that'll be different.
Yeah, and so he missed the 49 yards as a Blue Tsunami made, and he made a 45 yards. So both of them nice distance. So talk about being really close to knocking down both of them. You know, so yeah, he's good. Freddie Perez is good. It's good fine. Yeah. So we'll see again. I don't want to, you know, we have TSU fans, right? Like I said before, like I mentioned earlier, so people saw my logo. Somebody came and said, oh, "Is that LSU?" And I was sort of mad. And then the guy said, "I know about Tennessee State University. I know about I do, you know." So it was like, so people know who we are. And that was good encouragement to get that, you know, around some people who not the same element they knew about the house that Merritt built and you know, Ed Tutal, all the grace that we had going on. So, and about Eddie George and everything like that. So, you know, it's out there. We just got to trust it and believe in it, and stop making excuses, you know, for you know, or getting overly sensitive about stuff.
Yeah,
because so y'all get sensitive about stuff. I don't know why y'all so sensitive.
There's an ending to Too Short song and the dramatics, the ghetto. Just listen to the end, man. All them folks, man, that just be tripping and got nothing positive to say or do, or you know, because your behavior is what really counts, right? So you know, y'all just be positive in your behavior and what you do, or get out the way, man, and let some real supporters do some work.
Yep. On that note.
It's on that note. All right, man.
Go Big Blue.
Go Big Blue.
Go Big Blue.
Holla.